What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So first things first, before we do go ahead and get into today's video, thank you, God, for giving us another opportunity. Thank y'all for clicking on today's video. And if it's your first time, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day. Can we go ahead and get at least 50 likes on this video? That would definitely help me out. And also, be sure to drop a comment down below right now. Who do y'all think is going to win this year's NBA Finals? The Golden State Warriors or the Boston Celtics? Now, I'm going to go ahead and be real. I'm thinking the Warriors are going to take it in at least 5 or 6. Really my opinion, but let me go ahead and know down below. Who do y'all think is going to take it all this year? But without further ado, man, as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I am bringing y'all the top 5 most rare, broken, unused, and unseen builds on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Now, coming up at number 1, I had to go ahead and throw the most rare center build on NBA 2K, the point center build. Now, we are making this build, of course, out of the center position, but also out of the metric system. So what you need to go ahead and do is go into your units of measurements, into your settings. From there, you're going to change it from the imperial to the metric system, or the metric to the imperial system. Now, that is how we got the height of 2.06 meters, the weight of 98 kilograms with a wingspan of 2.31 meters. Now, for the finishing on this build, we are going to be able to do so many different things. When it comes down to it, 25 finishing badges, 19 for both the shooting and playmaking, and another 25 only for the defensive end. Now, between the defense and the finishing, the strongest areas of this build, but we are still going to be able to dribble as a point center, shoot really consistently, and when it comes down to our physicals, we are pretty balanced all around. Now, once we go ahead and get into the takeovers, this is what's really going to put the build over the top in certain areas, depending on which takeover you do pick. So, if you want a huge boost to your playmaking with the ability to speed boost and break ankles, I would go with the playmaking takeover. Now, if you want to get a little bit more better on the defensive end, I would consider the rim protecting, but this is all going to be based off of your own preference. I'm going to go with limitless range for the first takeover. Secondly, I like paint intimidation for the rim protecting. And as y'all can see, we have created, coming up at number 1, the point center build. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into number 2. And as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, we are making the all-around two-way. So I know I have already brought y'all this build in the past, but I have to go ahead and put this build on this list because honestly, this is the most rare number 1 lockdown defender / two-way build on NBA Next Gen. And I just want to go ahead and say also, when it comes down to the build name itself, this is honestly the most rare build in general. I'm going to go ahead and put it at number 2 under the point center because both of these two builds are honestly the most rare that you will ever see on Next Gen. So, if you did make it this far into the video, man, go ahead and let me know. What did y'all think about the first build being that point center? I know a lot of y'all love to play big man, so that is why I have to go ahead and be sure to spread the love as well. With this all-around two-way, I'm going to be making it out of the small forward position. Once we go ahead and get into the height, I'm comfortable with 6'6", but if you want to change it up, you definitely can do so. Now, for the weight, I'm going to go 180, and then finally, for the wingspan, I'm liking how 7 feet exactly is looking. So, once we do go ahead and get into the breakdown of the actual attributes, just be sure to follow along every single step of the way so we can both maintain the build name together. And as y'all can see, for the finishing, we're going to end it off with a total of 17 badges. Now, we do get a 91 driving dunk, but I'm telling you, you do have to be very specific with each area of not only this build, but all 5 that I'm bringing to y'all today. And the only reason why I do say that is because if you change anything other than what I'm showing y'all, you are risking changing the build name. Now that is what I do not want happening to y'all. I want y'all to be able to maintain the build names as we go along. So if you do feel like making your own adjustments, what I am highly going to recommend is that first we make the build together, and then after, go ahead and make your own adjustments basing it off of your own play style. But right here, as you can see, 28 shooting badges, 27 playmaking, and 20 defensive. Pretty all around balanced build, especially when it comes down to the physicals. If you do feel like making any adjustments to get more stamina, you can go ahead and make any changes basing it off of what you feel most comfortable with. Now, we do get the shot creating takeover, sharpshooting, playmaking, and of course, the lockdown defender. Whichever takeovers you decide to go with, just remember, you're getting a plus 10 to now the shooting and secondly the defensive area. Let's go ahead and check out the build name to make sure we made it correctly. And as y'all can see, we have created the all-around two-way build. Now, this is only the second build on this list, and I'm telling you, the builds are only going to continue to get even more rare as well as better with what they're going to be able to do. And coming up at number 3, as y'all can see, the power forward 6'7" lob threat. Now, just a quick reminder, and I'm going to go ahead and put y'all on. This lob threat build has over 100 total badges, which means easily the best lob threat that we are going to be able to see out of any 2K. So, if you are still here watching, man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I thank y'all, and welcome to the Rich Gang family, man. Let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. First thing you want to go ahead and do, put it under the power forward position. Once we go ahead and get into the height, I'm going to go with 6'7". When it comes down to the weight, 210 is perfect for my liking with a wingspan of 7'4". Now, as always, just be sure to follow along with the attributes as we do go ahead and put them on. And starting with the finishing, of course, I'm going to go with a close shot of 91, which means on the inside, we're going to be very deadly, especially when a smaller defender is on us. Driving layup, in my opinion, 80 is going to be perfect, 92 for the driving dunk, max out that standing dunk, and then if you want to, you can upgrade your post control, but just to spread the wealth, I'm going to go with an 82 mid-range shot as well as a 79 three-pointer. Now, when it comes down to the free throw, I'm going to bring this up to an 84, and this is primarily just so I'm able to bring this build into any game mode. Now, 29 badges for the finishing, 23 for the shooting, and then finally right here, once it comes down to the playmaking, we're going to end it off with a total of 22 badges, 76 pass accuracy, 80 ball handle, and a 73 speed with ball. Now, we're going to see how are we able to get over 100 badges on this build. And as you can see, we are really maxing out its full potential with spreading the wealth as well on this build. So I'm going to go with a 65 interior defense, 75 for the perimeter. As for the steal, go with the 62, 68 for the block, bring up that defensive rebound to an 81, and the offensive will be brought up to a 51. That's going to leave us at a total of 17 badges. Now, to wrap it up on the physical end, I'm going to go with a speed of 78, acceleration of 74, 80 for the vertical, and a 90 stamina. Now, this is honestly one of the best slasher builds that you're going to be seeing all year, but especially even more so with the rare build name that we are able to maintain. And on this build, with that shot creating and the playmaking takeover, you're going to be able to get that shooting boost as well as the ability to break ankles. Then we do get the limitless range takeover, which is honestly going to put the shooting over the top. You can go with finishing moves for the second takeover to help out on the finishing end. And as y'all can see, together, we have created the one and only lob threat build. Now, we have 2 more builds remaining after this. Normally, here is where I would cut the video, but I wanted to go ahead and put an extra amount of effort as well as bring out more fire builds into one video. So coming up at number 4, the one and only ankle breaking center build, jack of all trades. Now, you can actually make this build out of any position 1 through the 5, but I'm telling you, what makes this build so much more unique compared to the power forward, small forward, shooting guard, and point guard is the fact that we're going to be able to not only break ankles, but do everything on both ends of the floor as we do go along. So man, if you are still watching and you have not hit that like button, I need y'all to go ahead and do that because I'm cooking up some bangers for y'all this week. So the only thing that I'm asking of y'all is that you go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get us to the goal of 50 likes on this video. I know that we can do more than that, but I'm going to go ahead and give y'all an easy goal today. So when it comes down to the height, I'm going to go with 6'9". As for the weight, 215 is going to be perfect for my liking. Then finally for the wingspan, I like 7'3". Now as we do go along with the making of this build, just be sure to follow along. You can make your own adjustments if you want to. This is one of those less risky builds that if you do decide to change anything of the attributes, you'll still be able to maintain the build name in a multitude of different ways. But as you can see, we're going to end off with 27 finishing badges, 25 when it comes down to the shooting, and honestly, the badges that we're going to be able to unlock are really going to put all of these builds much better in their position that they hold. But honestly, let's go ahead and check out the playmaking end. I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of 75. When it comes down to the ball handle, I'm going to bring this up to a 77, and then of course, I want to go ahead and max out my speed with ball. That's going to bring us up to a total of 19 badges here. And then finally, to get everything wrapped up on the defensive end, we're going to look very special in this area of the build. So we're going to end it off with 27 defensive badges, and we pretty much have the rest of the attributes to throw into the physicals. Now remember, this is a 6'9" center, which means we're still going to be able to dribble because of the ball handle. And honestly, you do have the potential to speed boost if you do go about picking the takeovers correctly. But go with the 70 vertical, max out your speed and acceleration. And then if you feel comfortable with a 90 stamina, that's perfect in my opinion. I'm going to leave it like this. But as you can see, the shot creating takeover, which is going to allow us to break ankles as well as get that shooting boost. But then we do get the playmaking and also the rim protecting. I'm going to leave it up to y'all for the takeovers. But as you can see, we have created the one and only jack of all trades center build. Now, this is the 4th build on this list, which means we have one final build lined up for y'all today. And as y'all can see, I had to go ahead and bring y'all the one and only two-way pass first wing build. So out of all the builds on this list, I'm telling you, this is the best lockdown defender build / two-way that you're going to be able to be using, making, and seeing all year. So man, if you did make it this far, just know I appreciate y'all. I love y'all and I thank y'all, and man, be sure to go ahead and hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications and hit that like button so you can go ahead and join and also help grow the Rich Gang family. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the making and see what the hype is about this build. So of course, this is a wing. You want to go ahead and make it out of the small forward position. Once we go ahead and take a look at the height, I'm comfortable with 6'7", but I know for a fact that you can make this build out of different heights as well. When it comes down to the weight, 181 is going to be perfect for my liking. And then finally, for the wingspan, go with 7'1". Now, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of what we're going to be looking like on the finishing end. So we're going to end it off with essentially 22 total finishing badges. But once we do adjust our vertical to a 70, we're going to be able to unlock pro contact dunks on this build. Now, once we go ahead and get into the shooting, go with an 82 mid-range shot. Don't go anything higher or the build name will change. As for the three-pointer, we can max this out and go with the 77 free throw. That's going to bring us up to 24 badges. Now, for the playmaking, max out your ball handle. Go with the 77 speed with ball, 84 pass accuracy, and that's going to allow us to hold 26 playmaking badges. Now for the defensive end, max out that perimeter, go with an 84 steal, 83 for the block, 77 offensive rebound, and an 86 defensive. As for the physicals, max out that speed, acceleration. Remember to go with a 70 vertical so we can unlock the pro contact dunks. And to wrap it up for the stamina, I'm going to go with the 90 here. And honestly, all around, this build is super solid and honestly even toxic. 24 shooting badges. Once we go ahead and get into the finishing, 22 here. Even for the playmaking and defensive end, very strong areas of this build. So I would highly recommend, if you were to make your own changes, this is easily the best way to go about setting it up, and then from there you can go ahead and change anything basing it off of your own playstyle. But as you can see, the lockdown takeover, sharpshooting, shot creating, and the slashing with over 100 badges. So all of these takeovers are really gonna upgrade this build in each area of it, and this should be based off of your own preference, but I'm gonna go with the lockdown and ankle breaking shots takeover. And as y'all can see, at number 5 we have created the two-way pass-through swing, and if you made it to the end, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications so you can join the Rich Gang family and see when I upload every single day. Can we get at least 50 likes on this video? And be sure to comment down below, where did you tune in from, as well as which of the 5 builds is your favorite. I love y'all. I thank y'all. Thank you, God, for another opportunity. And with all that being said, Rich out.